Not that long ago, a microphone like the FIFINE A8 would likely cost north of $100. Yet here we are in 2025 reviewing a USB microphone that not only looks nice, but has performance to back that up that way exceeds its price tag. This is a $50 microphone that I can attest gives similar results to something like the HyperX Quadcast, which, if you've been following us for a long time, back in the day, I thought was one of the best consumer plug-and-play microphones available in the market. The market since has really been saturated and expanded for these inexpensive starter microphones, and it's actually been for the better. So let's take a deeper look at the FIFINE AmpliGame A8. Before we get too deep, I just wanted to thank FIFINE for sending us a unit of the A8 microphone. I'm reviewing this, but they are not going to be watching this prior to publication, so you guys will be the first to hear my thoughts on what I think of this microphone based on my review period. Also, I am recording straight out of the A8. I am not going to be editing it in post-production, so we're not going to mix this after. You could be the judge of whether you think this audio is good or bad based on the raw audio I'm picking up right now. On the surface, the A8 is an inexpensive and, quite honestly, a rather generic microphone for gamers. I have the white variant, and it's matched by a white colored stand. The gaming aesthetic comes into play with the RGB lighting emitting from within the capsule. Once again, it's pretty generic and basic with a total of 3 modes that cycle from static, dynamic, to gradient options. I'm normally not the biggest fan of these RGBs blasting out of a microphone. I do think it's rather loud and obnoxious at times, but the A8's light looks actually really clean with this white frame pillar that encases the capsule. The all-white look works really well here with the simple RGB options, and I do think it's actually a great asset to an otherwise inexpensive item. There's a small button on the back directly under the capsule that toggles through the different RGB colors. It's accompanied by a gain knob that's hidden under the suspension mounting ring. It's surprisingly small for a gain knob, but then again, the microphone itself doesn't have a lot of real estate to play with. The footprint of the A8 is rather small, and it's easily able to be tucked away on a desk. Continuing through the hardware, the bottom of the microphone houses the headphone jack, and also the USB-C port that plugs into a computing device that will connect with the A8. It's plug and play, and this doesn't require software to recognize, so the A8 is quite simple to get up and running. On the flip side, there's a touch-sensitive mute button that is highlighted by either a green or red LED notification symbol to identify whatever situation it's currently in. And as for audio, which is obviously the most important thing, like other microphones in this category, the A8 has a cardioid pickup pattern that allows the user's voice to be the focal point of what gets picked up. The A8 does a decent job at isolating the voice while eliminating audio from behind it, like my fan blowing PC in the background. You won't really hear that. My voice is clear and my words are distinct. You can see and hear right now. It surprisingly captures a realistic pitch and tone of my voice. The audio sensitivity is at -40 decibels, while the signal-to-noise ratio is at 80 decibels. While I won't claim that the audio wouldn't benefit from a little EQ work in post, I did find that the raw audio was significantly better than I had expected from this price tag. My biggest enjoyment from reviewing this A8 is discovering that the mic comes with this detachable pop filter right in front of it. While the entirety of the rest of the product is made from plastic, the filter itself has a quality behind it as it's cut from a sheet of metal. I legitimately would have purchased this pop filter for my other microphones if it was sold by FIFINE by itself. That's how much I liked it. The filter's mounting station is a perfectly measured distance to keep the plosives out of the audio, so you won't hear that when you're recording. This pop filter has done better than some of my more expensive options that I've integrated with my other microphones. It covers just enough to fill out the real estate of the front of the microphone capsule, but I still would have liked it to be a little wider and covered a little more ground. Still, this is a filter I would be happy to receive if I paid for about like $10 to $15 on Amazon. When you factor in that the A8 costs less than $50 and it includes this pop filter with it, It just continues to astound me how FiFINE gets under this dollar threshold here. And that's really all there is to know about the FiFINE AA. There's no extra bells and whistles to this simple plug and play microphone. But that's also a major selling point, as the no nonsense approach is what gave the company the leeway to price this microphone competitively like this. I'm not so sure how durable the microphone will be in the long run, as it is really made out of a plastic that feels cheap, but the microphone capsule itself is enclosed with a thin metal casing. However, the build material is that classic you get what you paid for scenario, and it is a little flimsy. That's not necessarily a terrible thing though. What will probably blow away most buyers is the clean vocal audio that is pushed out from the A8. It's levels beyond what a $50 price tag traditionally would supply buyers. So while this is a great beginner microphone for the price tag, I'd also say that it's a solid USB microphone overall, regardless of the affordability aspect. Once again, I'm Alex from the Subnautics. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think of this A8 microphone, and if you think this audio is good for this price tag. I would love to hear from you guys. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys very soon.